IMBODEN,
so
your
right.
gut feeling was right. Last time was the Paris World Cup in 2015, where IMBODEN won 15-9.
Well, today's a fresh chapter in a book that hasn't been written yet, Bash.
Very poetic there. Well, we have our referee Jaroslav Wojcicki of Poland taking control of the match here, and it's Sheriff Ali from Egypt on the video. So here we go. First semi-final. Guaranteed bronze medalists here. For the loser, they will get on the podium with a bronze medal. The winner, though, will go on to fight for gold. So why is it that IMBODEN is a 6-1 head-to-head, or has a 6-1 head-to-head with Peter JOPPICH?
That's a good question. I wish I knew the secret, to be honest. I can't say I've really watched many of the matches, so I'd be interested to learn a little bit from Race. Of course, he's left-handed, so it's not that applicable to me.
How much difference does that really make in terms of the tactics of the fight, though? Of course, different moves, but surely a left-hander can do what a right-hander does and vice versa.
I mean, I think the reason that left-handers are so successful in fencing is because they get, it's a mathematical quirk, they get to fence right-handers more than right-handers get to fence left-handers. So when the left-hander fences a right-hander, the left-hander's more confident. Of course, right-handers are more confident with other right-handers, but that doesn't matter, because when a right-hander fences a right-hander, one's going to win, one's going to lose. So I think it's the mathematical reason that gives them a slight advantage. But then at this level, you can't really use that as an excuse. You can't use a fencer's height or what hand he uses as an excuse.
But it is interesting the fact that the general population of the planet, if you compare it against the fencing population, certainly at the elite end, there's a much higher percentage of left-handers in that fencing population than there are on average.
That's true. I mean, I think 1 in about 7 people is left-handed, and yet they account for about 50% of the world and Olympic champions. One of the theories is that left-handers get a lot of success when they're young, so they're encouraged to continue, and then that filters down to the eventual winners of the Olympics and Worlds.
Well, it's also the other interesting thing is when two left-handers come up against each other, that can turn into a bit of a scrap.
Well, it can, and left-handers usually don't like fencing other left-handers.
Yeah.
But of course, left-hander will win and the left-hander will lose.
So, a bit of maths there tonight here in Bonn from Richard Cruz. Not just a foil expert, but also a statistician as well, by the sounds of things.
Actually, we used to have a real statistician in the team, Jamie Kemba, and he was great. He had a maths degree, and he could always tell us, bits and pieces of stats throughout the fight. Very useful to have around.
That's the British team you're referring to, of course.
Yep.
Am I right in thinking that Jamie Kemba also used his mathematical talents for financial gain?
I think you're right. I can't remember.
Heard he was a pretty good online poker player.
I remember rooming with him a few times. He was on the poker for about 6 hours. But the ironic thing was, he used to play so much of it. When he worked out how much money he'd made, he worked out about £5 an hour minimum wage. So it wasn't really worth doing.
Here JOPPICH is saying, I don't care if you have a 6-1 head-to-head with me, Race IMBODEN, I'm coming after you.
So their Race had the line out, but he couldn't fix the point on the target.
Parry riposte there, lightning speed from the German.
I just wonder what was going on in the last 8 with Race IMBODEN. Maybe he was cramping up, maybe he's tired. I don't know, because he had a 9-1 lead and he just fell over the finishing line in the last 8. Maybe he's a little bit off.
Yeah, you might well be right. And here he's questioning the bounce outs that we featured in previous fights here. Having some problems with the equipment perhaps today.
Well, I mean, it's sometimes your mind can play tricks with you. I'll watch more carefully to see if he hits next time.
But it was the other American, Miles Stanley Watson, that was suffering from those bounce outs.
Well, yeah, absolutely. They changed the whole scoring apparatus.
Yeah, so I wonder if that is maybe something wrong with the team kit. I mean, I know you all have your own individual weapons and stuff, but maybe they use the same manufacturer or the same types of tips.
I hope you're not bad-mouthing your sponsor, Mash.
Of course I'm not. I didn't mention any brand by name.
Oh, and that's an attack to flank by Race IMBODEN. 2-6.
Pacey match.
Yeah, absolutely. The racer's got to be very careful the match doesn't get away from him here. A few more hits in the other direction and it's going to be very hard to get back into.
Yeah, I'm not sure you could say that if it was the other way around though, because JOPPICH is known as the comeback king, isn't he?
Oh, you can never write off JOPPICH.
Well, Race changed coaches after the Rio Olympic Games. He now has the world famous Sergei Golubitsky in his corner.
Yes, he was with Dan Kellner before that. And Dan was a bit unlucky because he didn't get to go to the London Olympics. And then, obviously, he started coaching Race, but then Race switched just before Rio. So poor Dan missed out on the Olympics either side.
Oh, he's with Golubitsky now. Golubitsky won this tournament back in 1993. He knows what it's like to stand on this podium piste. So what a person to have in your camp.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if he can make the difference here.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him. Well, there's a debate going on between Race IMBODEN and Greg Macialis, the head coach of the men's four program.
Race IMBODEN's complaining a little bit about the jacket Peter JOPPICH's wearing as being too slippery.
Really? You know, look, I know that they make shiny jackets and they are designed to, you know, make it more difficult to hit, but is that really going to make a difference?
Well, you know, they were designed for that reason.
But then they all have them, right?
Well, no, Race's jacket's a bit rougher. His is a bit more abrasive.
But JOPPICH's not breaking any rules by using the slipperier jacket.
No.
IMBODEN should
No, of
go
course
and
not.
get one himself, right?
Well, you bad-mouthing your sponsor again?
Of course. I'm not talking about any brand at all. I'm talking the fact that
well, yeah, you're right. They're perfectly legal. What is frowned upon in the men's foil community is the use of chest plates.
Right.
Now they're actually perfectly legal, but they're obviously used just for an advantage because they're ultimately hitting a hard surface. So if you hit it slightly off the perpendicular line, you'll slide off. So that's frowned upon a bit.
Does anyone use them?
They used to. I think some of the Romanians used to, but in this day and age, I can't really think of anyone using them. I remember my colleague, Mr. Housted, used to be the enforcer. He used to go around to everyone with a chest plate on and start tapping their chest after the match, as if to say, you know, don't wear them, come on. We're all men here, play fair. Oh, together one light. I think JOPPICH just bounced off the mask there. Obviously, if you hit a very hard surface like the mask, you're not going to get a light most times.
Well, he finds the parry there, so that's going to be a riposte given for the German.
I think Race thinks there was a hesitation there.
Well, that's the quickest hesitation in history for me, because I think JOPPICH took the blade and...
Sergei has just acknowledged to Peter JOPPICH he thinks that's JOPPICH's hit. There may have been a bit of a hesitation, but I think JOPPICH will still get it.
So yeah, if you find a parry, if you block your opponent's attack, which is what Peter JOPPICH did, then you have a period of time to land your riposte. And it's a question of whether it was too long or whether it was done in time. For me, it was done in time.
And let's see what Mr. Moisky gives. And he's given the riposte.
And now there's a conversation between Golubitsky and Macialis about the video replay.
I think Golubitsky's a little bit frustrated there. That Race didn't ask his his opinion before going to video. And now Race has lost that video.
I think that's his second one as well.
So no more reviews.
That's why Golubitsky's not happy, because at 10-4 down, he's going to need those almost certainly.
Here, Race just can't hit the target. It looks like he's getting near. There's never a light.
It's almost like he's just gone, well, I can't hit, so I'm just going to stand here and try and look good. To some extent, this is not usual from Race IMBODEN, is it?
Well, he's doing a good job. He's looking very good.
The job is to try and get a gold medal, I believe.
Oh, Peter's mask wires come off there. Let's see if they've spotted it.
He did. So Joppich finding the blade, IMBODEN closing the distance.
A bit of frustration there from IMBODEN.
So that one's given off target because Joppich found the blade, and if you find your opponent's blade, you beat your opponent's blade, it's your right of way. Same thing again.
Attack off target. Now Race is the attacker, but he's landed off target, so no hit awarded.
Oh, beautiful attack there.
Yeah, wonderful. Sort of almost coming down from a preen position at close quarters. 11-4. Looks like it's one-way traffic.
Well, it was a 6-1 head-to-head coming into this, and at the moment it very much looks like that is going to be reduced to a 6-2, and Joppich is going to delight the home crowd here by going on and fencing for the gold medal later on. That's IMBODEN's attack every day of the week, though. Look, we're still in the first period, 30 seconds left to go, so there's time here for IMBODEN.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to rush.
It's incredible. In fact, this is quite reminiscent of an old school foil match, which would be over in the first period. Nowadays, matches usually go to the second or third period, but this one is lightning speed.
Well, Race IMBODEN did have no, he didn't have a video. He's called for a video, and Sheriff Ali on the video has said you haven't got any left.
And that's the danger of being a bit reckless with them.
But to be fair, his coach Golubitsky said that was Joppich's hit, so there's no point in calling for it. Potential bit of covering there from Peter Joppich, but out of hitting distance, so gets away with it. You're allowed to bring your back arm in front of your target.
They're being a bit stricter with that now. So you can only go to parallel with the back shoulder. You can't go any further. Which is what the rule actually used to be.
Yep. Changed the shoulder rule a few times, haven't they, over the years?
Oh, they're always tinkering with the rules. And this is a bit man over boy here.
It is, isn't it? And I think the head went down from Race IMBODEN early days.
I think that last hit was actually wrong. I think Joppich stopped, but Race can't challenge it, and I think it was checkmate anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, 15-5, the German goes on to win a stunning victory, really.
Yeah, incredible. Semi-final of the World Cup, 15-5.
And come on, there's got to be a bit of an element of the crowd getting behind Joppich at the beginning. It spurred him on at the beginning, gave him that lead.
I'm sure it did, and you certainly can never write off Joppich, especially in front of a home crowd. Now this next match coming up is going to be a cracker, because they're two very physical fencers that cover a lot of distance. So I think it's going to be end-to-end stuff.
Yeah, well, that coming up, you're listening to expert opinion from world number 5, Richard Cruz from Great Britain. And we've seen Joppich go through semi-final number 1. As you said, we've got a corker coming up now. Enzo Lafort, world number 16, up against Timur Safin, who's currently ranked number 3 in the world. So you talked about them both being mobile, physical. Tell us a little bit more.
Well, Lafort's a bit like Chamley Watson. He's very tall, and Safin's he's not that tall, but he's very mobile. So both of them cover a lot of distance. So I think we'll see some real theatrics here. It's going to be end-to-end stuff, I'm sure. But I'm tempted to go for Safin. on current form, Safin is looking good.
Well, he is, isn't he? And he is ranked up there at number 3 in the world, and he came through his teammate Cherry Misanov in the last round, who's been ranked higher. He's down at number 30.
And I think he actually beat Dmitry Rigin earlier, 15-14, another Russian. So he's gone through a few teammates.
He did, and really that was a tough 64 match.
That's very tough.
Number 25.
That's very tough because Dmitry Rigin is back in the pools now, so that's why he was a bit of a spanner in the works.
Yeah, and he came through. Safin came through Simon of France, and then JOPPICH of the Czech Republic, or as Richard told me earlier on,